Hello everyone. I would like to very gracefully today talk about the concept of achievement and, in a sense, doing things. You see, there is the most immediate act which you can do, which is, in a sense of control you have of your life. So in other words, if you could get up right now from your seat and change certain things about your life, that is your immediate response. Now, there's some changes that will not happen unless you exert more focus or attention. And so what that means is you need to concentrate more on certain things that are outside of your comfortable range of experience. So what that means is that if you've never been skydiving, try skydiving. If you've never been swimming, try swimming. Try different things, feel different flows and currents, and see that as you are falling, perhaps from a plane, your only sense of comfort is based on your knowing of how able you are in that moment before you go through it. So we find that we know things, and what we do not know, we do not assume. We do conclude certain things, we do try to work with it, but we don't assume for certain. So if I cannot see you because you're in your house and I'm in mine, I don't say you don't exist. But I know that if I want to come and see who you are, I need to be in a proximity where I could be in a way where I can have a learning experience through a communication with whoever. You really did. You see that when we're doing our work, sometimes we want to do it in a certain way. So we have it planned out and made in another way. So the day before, you plan exactly how you're going to perform. And once you're there, you see there are factors you could not possibly count on. There's certain randomness of performance. So in other words, I can hit a nice ping pong serve, let's say, but there will be times, regardless if you're a champion, you will hit the net. And so when that happens, a champion or someone who knows how to work properly sees that he must overcome his immediate sense of objection. So it's very important in any practice you do, whether it's meditative or whether it's whatever you're working, doing something, to, in a sense, have a focus or a concentration that does not want to ignore the experience you're longing for, the thing you are longing for out of the outcome. At times you see that we think certain times in life we are meant to act in a certain way and we can't. So what that means is that you might try giving a speech and no one will listen to you for a long time. And not that no one listens to you, you think that no one is listening because you have not heard yourself speak. So the more you speak, you begin seeing that the work you're doing, it's as if you're putting more attention. So when you go after that interest, when you go after that sense of achievement, you see that it is in a sense built based on how well you know yourself. So certain times we see that when we're new to a situation which even our preparation is not prepared for, we embrace the situation. We do not stop. We do not judge it and stop. We, in a sense, embrace it by realizing that when we take a few steps back from what has just happened, we get to see it a bit more clear. So if something's going fast in your life, you don't at times need to decide immediately what to do, but to slow down your pace. Take steps that you're fully aware of the effect. So what that means is that when you do certain things, in trying to achieve something, make sure you're so honest with yourself that you're not wasting your time. So if you're sitting down to study something, to build something, to create something, to draw something, you're not wasting your time. You, based on your longing to search and see what your greatest work and expression is, will in a sense become that state of being that is not thinking about the work but always doing it. The experience of how we are experiencing is for now very confused with the external projection of reality we perceive. So you begin your whole life from day one thinking that this world is in a sense grasped because it's outside of you, and what's inside you doesn't know enough, or in a sense is trying to achieve something or wants to be this. Growth means allowing for certain developments to occur naturally and without your objectification against that which is not objective. Therefore, to work in a way where you are absorbed in your act means that you must have clearly your attention on the object of focus. So if you want to achieve something, you must have your concentration clearly on it, because you do not want to change something which you don't know yet. Do you know? So, for example, I'm here and I want to be a certain person in the future, let's say. I have this feeling now. So I begin to see that maybe the reason I want to be that is because something about this life has become more real to me, in which I feel I can handle. So when you look at life, whether through meditative practice or any other practice, you begin to see that you're observing your own ability within moments of existence. So in a sense, you are not just alone, you are in a sense blended with many relationships that are perceived within your immediate moment. So your life's work recognizes itself to be always working, but not to individually be able to feel itself holistically. Because once you are considering, once your stepping stone is a separate, let's say is a dualistic stepping stone, you see that you're in a sense getting further away. So at first, when you seek for knowledge or certain structures that satisfy you, you can never find those structures, because the way you really want to perceive these things happening is through an internal and experiential basis. So when someone wants to experience how to go hiking, you will never feel, satisfied with, Google images of a mountain. You want to go for more. So you need to see that your life's work, regardless of how much you feel you need to do something or not to do something, has began since day one. You are an expression which you are consciously aware of. And so now you need to be more aware of what is here. And so at first you're observing the relationship of how you're here as an idea, but then there's an observance that is silent. So you see suddenly out of this deep contemplation which you've went into doing, in which you're journeying through, you kind of at times reach a point in the journey where you have no idea what's going on, and you don't know, and danger is lurking nearby, and you just kind of feel that you're incomplete. So in doing our work, when we feel incomplete, it is because we have not been authentic. It's like there's an aspect of you that is not letting you clearly see it. It's because you have certain views on the topic that you're not confronting, but they are deep because they have emotional registrations based on the experiences you've had. So we see the way, or actually let me say it like this, we see the beauty in poetry is that he's bringing the structured mind to its edge so that it can see through new structures, because it is always unstructured. And so the essence of life is not something to touch, because it is that which is even giving your being a reason to reach, or a sense of reach. So find yourself through all that you feel you need to find, you know. Your dreams need action more than your thought of what action you need to do. And action is immediate, so you are no longer thinking about it because your concentration is on doing the act. So in other words, when you're in the gym, or when you're doing that extra rep, or when you're just in general exercising in some way, your attention is clearly on the moment as a static observance. So how you're being aware of many things in your life is through a sense of stillness, which is giving you an amazing projection of movement. So if I've sat in my chair and I'm perceiving many senses of myself moving, the reality is that the consciousness of man is not limited to linear movements. Its intelligence is very non-linear because it absorbs the linear and shows you that which it's missing. Find yourself. Always breathing well. Much blessings and namaste.